Next up, Young Bucks. What is Young Buck? Each year, and I've got these little sayings and these words. Young Buck is basically a future weapon of goodness for New Zealand business that's going to help create and do good things. And so each week I like to spend a bit of time to talk to some of these young bucks, these future leaders, these future business champions, these great Kiwis that are going to be doing good things in the world of commerce and business. And today I'm extremely excited to be talking to Lambrini Phillips. How are you, Lambrini?
Kia ora, I'm good. How about you?
Rock and rolling. So you're the Young Buck for the week, and you're the founder of Wedo Mai. Now, this is an educational board game helping people to learn Te Reo Māori, which is super cool. I'm just starting my journey on that. I'm doing my little one-to-one lessons. We've got a little thing we're doing there because I felt bad that I can speak more Japanese right now than I can Māori. So it was very cool. So let's start off with, whereabouts do you live and how old are you?
So I live in Wellington CBD, born and bred here my whole life, and I'm 20 years old.
Very exciting. So let's talk about this. Wedo Mai, where did the idea come from? What was the genesis and what's been the journey so far to date?
So it pretty much started in 2019. I took part in the Lion Foundation Young Enterprise Scheme, and we were at this big Kickstart event, and we had probably about 10 different ideas about starting a company focused on environmental sustainability, and we thought, it's not quite it. We're not really satisfied with all these ideas. And we had a few speed coaches come around and, talk to us, and we ended up scratching all of them, and we found this one statistic, and it was that 3.7% of Kiwis can speak fluent Te Reo Māori. We were quite gobsmacked by that statistic, and we thought, why is it so low? And it's because people are quite scared to learn a new language. They're scared to pronounce things wrong because they feel like they'll get backlash. So we thought we'd create a fun educational board game for people to actually learn Te Reo Māori and feel comfortable with one another by learning the language.
So how does the game work?
So we've got 4 different genres. So there might be place names or flora and fauna sort of scenarios. And it's kind of like a Monopoly board, because we found that it's one of the most popular board games out there. So we thought that if we create something with a similar layout, people are going to be a bit more familiar with it. So they go around the board, and when they land on an icon, they pick up a card from that genre. And the objective of the game is to win 3 cards per genre. But there's a few little hiccups there. So there's a taniwha, so you might have to stay in the taniwha for a session or for a round, depending on what one you land on. So
design-wise, you obviously, crafted up what you think, like you've used the sort of the template copy-paste model of what's worked in terms of the gamification of Monopoly. What's the feedback been so far to the game? Like how, obviously the goal is to gamify it, to make it more fun instead of fearful to sort of engage with. What's the feedback been like?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's been fantastic. When we first set out in 2019, we went into quite a few primary and intermediate and college schools. We ended up playing it with the students. They loved playing the game. It's, it can range from 5+ onwards, really. It depends on your knowledge of Te Reo Māori. And schools wanted to implement one in every classroom, which was fantastic. And then we also went out to different corporate organisations, and we would go to their Friday night drinks, and they want to have a fun activity while they're having their drinks every Friday. So, yeah, we played that with them, and they bought a whole heaps for like one for every floor. So it's great.
Is this the first business that you've started? Is this you're a serial entrepreneur getting in there trying to start these businesses? How's your business journey been?
Oh, it's been great. Wedo Mai has been my first business, but since I had such an amazing journey in the Young Enterprise Scheme, it really inspired me to actually go out and help other rangatahi out there, starting a business, giving them support. It's just so, fulfilling to see that excitement in other students as well.
So what do you think the game, what's the current strategic vision for, future expansion and execution for the game of Wedo Mai?
So we're looking, there's only now 2 of us in the group. The other people from college, they all decided to do their own thing. But we've both got, a full-time job in university. So in between that time, it's just kind of like, right, this is a bit of a on the side business, and we're just going to continue selling them out. But we'd love to end up getting them into Whitcoulls, farmers, the warehouse and stuff. So then there's actually a bit of more of a national platform out there, and hopefully getting out to those expats. We've already sold a few out to the UK, Netherlands, and Australia, but we'd really like to, implement a bit more into a lot more countries out there.
So talking about the brand and marketing side of things, from plenty of the listeners here are obviously a lot older than the age of 20. What's been the current, I guess, marketing strategy for how you're looking to expand the business and actually try and generate sales? And how is it, is it bricks and mortar? Is it all direct to consumer and like an e-commerce platform? Like, talk me through how you're currently selling the marketing sort of mechanics behind it.
So we do a lot of direct sales by like school emails and things. That's been our like first one that we've really been doing recently. So it's just more like emailing the schools out, because they obviously want one in every classroom, right? So that's our first initial one that we go there. But then we're also marketing it online on our social media and things like that too. So then we can get more of a platform out there.
If you're a business that's a small business that's running, you're a solopreneur or entrepreneur, or you're running a small little team, do you have any email tips on how you're potentially commercializing and selling products using email in 2022? Any little tips and tricks or anything, platforms and bits and pieces you're using that you're finding pretty useful and helpful?
It's just to keep it short and sharp, really. Like, we don't want to, I think, for us, we just don't really want a long paragraph that's like, right, please play this and you can win this. It's just like, right, we've got these, solving this issue, you need to buy this. And it's just short and sharp, and I think that's the real key to us selling a lot of games.
And finally, before we go, I'm interested to ask you, obviously you got passion about culture with the language to sort of grow. Why do you think it's important for Kiwis to learn te reo?
Well, we live here, and when tourists come, it's just they ask us how to pronounce things, and sometimes you just hear people mispronounce the places that we live in themselves. And, it's really important that we learn our own language, where the people, walk through, our ancestors. It's really important, and it's not that hard to learn. If you mispronounce it once or twice or three times, it's not bad, as long as you're trying and you're willing to learn. That's the main thing, I think.
No, I love it. So if you're listening to this now and you're wanting to check out the game, go to the website, potentially even buy some, where can they go to? What can they do? Basically, this is where you can plug your stuff here, Lambrini. Go for it. Plug away. Don't feel bad.
So you can pretty much go onto our website. So if you just Google Wedomai, you'll find us all on there with all of our other things that we've been doing. And you can also check us out on our social media at Wedomai as well. So, yeah.
Love it. Well, I really appreciate your time. I hope you enjoy the rest of the Saturday. Good to have you in the mix, and it's well done on being 20 years old and starting this first sort of business, enjoying it. And a quick little tip: if you're trying to get into these big bricks and mortars, navigate through LinkedIn to find who the procurement manager of these things are, and you can actually try and headhunt them down one-to-one. Be a lot definitely easier than trying to email info@thewarehouse.co.nz or whatever it is, which usually gets gas to the side. But best of luck for the future. I hope it absolutely charges, and thanks for spending a little bit of time with us today.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
Rock and roll.